See if we get that line here.
The modern media, it brings us the images of disasters, war, environmental destruction, poverty, and children's lack of opportunity. During our lifetime, most of us never encounter such terrible suffering or the feeling of being totally meaningless. But we understand the feeling and we feel the need to help. And many people do help. But who helps the people that help the world? A new vision has been born, a way of creating a better world. About 250 million years ago, the world was one. One landmass, one continent, one unity. Today, with the help of modern media, the world has turned back time. Through the internet and the global broadcasters, the unified continent has been recreated. Pangea is using the modern media of the world to help the people that help the world. The coast of Turkey, June 2006. A crew of Danes and Turks want to create an underwater park to help the marine life and attract divers from all over the world.
This is the starting ramp for Pangea's future. We have to prove that it's an easy way to give donations, so it's very important that it works.
The mission in Turkey is the first of hundreds more to come. With this particular reef, the ambition is to attract divers from the huge tourist area of the region to a new kind of underwater experience. Part of the money they pay for diving is donated to the poor children of the region. Tourism is growing internationally, and in particular, there's a rapid growth in the demand for active and eco-tourism. The area of Alanya is no exception. Hundreds of thousands of tourists visit the area year after year, enjoying the sun, the ocean, the people and the culture. And among these tourists are many active divers, or those hoping to become divers. But apart from a few caves, the area has little to offer. The marine life is sparse, and the sandy bottom is endless, with no vegetation or life. Overfishing, coastal trawling, and pollution have affected the general marine life of the Mediterranean waters, and this area in particular. Species have disappeared, and huge parts of the coastal seas are lifeless and deserted. The creation of the underwater park will not only attract divers, but also improve the environment for plants and therefore fish in the area. To realize the vision, the team will be sinking ships, shelters, statues and amphorae, and in that way establish a new biological environment that will last for hundreds of years. When divers enter the new reef, they'll have to pay a tax-like fee that will be donated to a local charity organisation, and in that way the divers participate in the creation of a school home for the poorest children of the region. The booming economy of this region hasn't benefited everybody everywhere. In the mountain areas, people still live in extreme poverty, with no possibilities for education and a not so bright future. In this family, the father left the mother alone with 6 children to support. She works very hard doing the things that she can, but she also has to take care of the domestic responsibilities, and therefore has no chance of supporting the children's dreams, including education. The school home can provide education for the oldest daughter right away, and in time the younger ones will also be able to attend. The school home is located in the city of Alanya, but the building will has come to a halt, but the charity organisation behind the project has not been able to finance it to completion. With the donations from the reef divers and the internet, the people behind the project feel they'll be able to finish the building, begin education, and even establish more school homes. This is only the first of 5 similar projects with reefs and school homes in the area, as Pangaea has been awarded 4 more areas for reef building, and these will also be set up in a way to benefit others. The economics of the project is based on the idea that commercial interest can easily coexist with charitable work, and the partnership can even generate more funding to expand the charity activities. This can be done in many different ways, but for this project, it is 2 fairly simple ideas. Firstly, the crew needs to create an attraction that is interesting and that will continue to generate income while protecting the marine life. In order to make this idea come true, the Pangaea project has been searching for objects which can create better underwater conditions while giving divers something new. By using an all-military ship, the idea of using environmentally clean shipwrecks to improve the marine life is now being tested in the area. But one ship is not enough. Some 500 concrete shelters, 2,400 amphoras, statues and Roman pillars have to go down through the blue ocean before the reef is completed. If everything goes well, this will be the first of as many as 5 ships that will be used to create reefs in the area, and these reefs will generate funds for other projects.
3, 2, 1. There's plenty of people that are helping other people. They just need somebody to brand them. And we need to make a platform, a transparent platform on a homepage. And people can donate to this homepage. If they donate $1 to a charitable organization, the organization gets $1. What they have to do with that $1 at the charity organization is show how the $1 is spent.
This is what we do. Businesses, private people, worldwide organizations, and governments are our partners. We want to show that charity does help, and that the world can be a better place to live in, even if it's only one step at a time. All in all, Pangaea's primary job is to get the world's attention through films, television, and the World Wide Web. And after that, to secure direct income to the local organizations through the internet.
But what Pangaea can do is the future. I see Pangaea in 5 years branded in at least 240 countries.
to support the solutions. Pangea, helping people help the world.
Now, that is an absolutely marvelous project that can provide fish, the fish habitat, breed and feed, that would help the fishermen because there are more fish in the area. It helps the local economy. And in this particular case, it's set up to help the children's school. And so the government has to pay less money to help that school. There are many, many excellent ideas like this around the world. Some in the US, some in Europe, all over. And they're having trouble getting it started. It's too small, it's too complicated or whatever. They could be attached to some of these macro projects very easily. I mean, very, very beneficial. That coastal thing of Denmark, as I say, could be a marvelous anchor for some of these activities and stimulate them and just aid everybody in the area. Now, let's see what else we have. These macro activities, however, were sort of an engineering side. I don't know if this is going to show up here. I just wanted to briefly show that I've been looking at the science side of things too. I used to annoy my co-workers because I was never into the mathematics all that much. I would always let somebody else do it, or I was off doing something else. And the reason for that was I always realized or felt that when you're creating a new project, you design it first, and then you analyze it afterward. And when you design, you start with a broad brush idea, and then you make it more and more refined. And I think the greatest example of that was the Danish architect who designed the Opera House in Sydney. And they still have on the wall there, on a large version, of this very rough sketch. That's about all it was. That was his concept for the Opera House. And the guide there explained, we saw this, and no. We looked at the next one, no, not this one. Let's look at the first one again. And then they looked at the fourth one and the fifth one, and then they looked at the first one again. And they went through that kind of a repetition and wound up choosing that design, for which they're eternally grateful. It's a worldwide tourist site and national monument.